I'm not too familiar with Netflix's history. But like streaming movies, I remember people talking about how streaming movies are going to take over. But now it seems like streaming movies are just creating movies which are not that bad. So
Yeah.
was that their intention? Like, what's the purpose of this movie? Was it just to create another movie which wasn't that bad and that, because you know what I'm saying? Like, what was the intentions for this film?
So Netflix's business model is making movies that you can watch while cooking dinner or folding laundry. That's their target audience for their movies. So movies that are pleasant to watch, not too challenging. You don't really need to be in the same room. You just need to check in on it every once in a while, right? And that is why a lot of these movies are so terrible. And that is why these movies have things like really stock characters and really blunt exposition where characters will just outright say out loud what they're doing and why they're doing it. Like this movie had, like in the beginning, when they're in the car driving to the airport, they're outright explaining each other's life stories to each other, which is the more clumsiest exposition I've seen in a long time. Thankfully, not the entire movie is like this, but like the first couple of minutes are really like the most basic storytelling you've ever seen. And that is by design by Netflix. There have been like leaks and reports and accounts from people who used to work there or who made movies for Netflix. They get essentially instructions to dumb down their movies so that people who are folding laundry are not overwhelmed.
Wow. That is crazy.
And that is why when a movie comes along that is not that bad, sticks out so much. Because the vast majority of these are really lowest common denominator. They essentially punish you for paying attention. Because you're supposed to be able to be entertained while you're not paying attention. And something that occurred to me is that there are shows I watch like this while I'm cooking dinner or whatever, right? But those are shows that I've seen 5 times and that I like. And where it's okay if I miss 5 minutes because I've seen the episode. But these are good shows that are on my rewatch list. But it's okay because when you first saw that movie, you did pay attention to it. But here it seems like Netflix is skipping all the way to the end. And it's just making stuff to keep in the background. Like this isn't even second monitor content, right? Like this is like goes a few steps beyond that.
Part of it is that they have to constantly provide sort of fresh new material for people to watch as well, and to keep people subscribed.
That's a lot of laundry.
For someone that enjoys good storytelling, enjoys compelling characters and stuff like that, it's definitely something that's not. I'm not the target audience for it for sure.
And it's like one of the biggest creators of content. Right, I don't know by the numbers if they're the biggest, but they're like Netflix is one of the biggest players, and if that is their attitude about that, then that's really concerning, right? It's not just that they make a few movies like this; it's their deliberate strategy, and they're changing movies or rejecting movies based on not fitting that template, right?
Yeah. What's interesting though is on the flip side, I believe they put more care and attention into the TV series that they're actually producing because like Netflix have had so many big hits in terms of sort of TV series, and if anything, they're more kind of like synonymous for those like things like Squid Game, things like Stranger Things and stuff like that. Are really like big shows that have had like really good like cultural impact as well. So it's surprising that they don't try to apply some of that at least to a few of the sort of movies that they are producing each year, where they have like kind of like the tempo ones where they do put sort of more effort into sort of trying to produce something that's a little bit more worthy of the movie title.